William Turner. Joseph Millord William Turner, born on April 23, 1775, in Covent Garden, London, is widely regarded as one of the most innovative and influential painters in the history of British art. Known simply as J.M.W. Turner, his career spanned the late 18th and 19th centuries, a period of dramatic social, political, and artistic change. Turner's groundbreaking approach to this landscape and marine painting not only transformed these genres, but also cemented his legacy as a pioneer of modern art. Turner was born into modest circumstances. His father was a barber and wig maker, and his mother's declining mental health marked his early years with instability. Despite these challenges, Turner exhibited an extraordinary artistic talent from a young age. By the age of 14, he was admitted to the Royal Academy of Arts, where his skill and ambition quickly became evident. His early works were precise and detailed, reflecting the influence of traditional topographical painters. Turner began his career producing architectural and topographical watercolors, but it was not long before he started experimenting with oil painting. His first exhibited work at the Royal Academy in 1796, Fisherman at Sea, demonstrated his fascination with the interplay of light and shadow. The piece, a moonlit maritime scene, marked the beginning of his exploration of atmospheric effects, a theme that would dominate his later works. As Turner matured, his art evolved beyond traditional realism. He became increasingly preoccupied with capturing the sublime, the overwhelming beauty and power of nature. This shift is evident in his depictions of dramatic seascapes, tempestuous skies, and luminous landscapes. Influenced by the Romantic movement, Turner sought to evoke emotion through his use of color, light, and dynamic compositions, pushing the boundaries of conventional landscape painting. The Napoleonic Wars and Britain's naval supremacy were recurring themes in Turner's work. Paintings such as the Battle of Trafalgar, 1822 to 1824, and the Fighting Temeraire, 1839, celebrate the heroism of the British Navy while also reflecting on the passage of time and the decline of traditional power. The Fighting Temeraire, depicting one of the once mighty warship being towed to its final berth, is often regarded as one of his greatest achievements, blending nostalgia with the inevitability of change. Turner's travels across Europe profoundly influenced his art. He visited France, Switzerland, and Italy, where he was captivated by the landscape and the quality of Mediterranean light. His experiences in Venice, in particular, inspired a series of luminous, dreamlike paintings that capture the city's ethereal beauty. Works such as the Grand Canal, Venice showcase his mastery of light and his increasingly abstract approach to form. The 1830s and 1840s marked the peak of Turner's experimentation. His later works, such as Rain, Steam, and Speed, The Great Western Railway, 1844, verge on abstraction, emphasizing atmosphere and motion over detail. These paintings, often characterized by their swirling forms and bold use of color, were controversial in their time, but are now celebrated as precursors to Impressionism and modern art. Despite his fame, Turner was known for his reclusive and eccentric nature. He never married and lived much of his later life in relative isolation. He maintained a close relationship with his father, who acted as his assistant until his death in 1829, a loss that deeply affected Turner. Turner was a prodigious artist, producing over 30,000 works during his lifetime, including paintings, watercolors, and sketches. His dedication to his craft was matched by his generosity. In his will, he left much of his work to the British nation, ensuring that future generations could appreciate his art. Today, many of his pieces are housed in the Tate Britain, where the Turner bequest forms the cornerstone of the collection. Turner died on December 19, 1851 in Chelsea, London. His funeral was a grand affair, reflecting his status as one of Britain's greatest artists. He was buried in St. Paul's Cathedral alongside other luminaries of British history. J.M.W. Turner's legacy is unparalleled. His fearless innovation and ability to capture the sublime essence of nature revolutionized landscape painting. Often called the painter of light, his work continues to inspire and resonate, reminding us of the power and beauty of the natural world. Through his art, Turner transcended the limitations of his time, leaving an indelible mark on the history of art. Thomas Lunny. Thomas Lunny, born on the 20th of May 1759 in London, is remembered as one of Britain's notable marine painters whose works vividly captured the essence of 18th and 19th century maritime life. Despite enduring personal challenges, including debilitating physical ailments later in life, Lunny demonstrated remarkable perseverance and produced an extensive and highly regarded body of work that continues to be celebrated today. Lunny's early life remains somewhat obscure, but his artistic training began under the tutelage of Francis Holman, a prominent marine artist of that period. Holman's influence on Lunny's work is evident in his keen attention to detail and ability to convey the dynamism of the sea. Holman's studio, located in the heart of London's maritime district, would have exposed Lunny to bustling docks, shipyards, and naval activity, providing him with first-hand inspiration for his art. By the age of 21, Lunny had established himself as a professional artist, exhibiting his works at the Royal Academy of Arts. His paintings, often depicting dramatic naval battles, serene coastal scenes, and bustling harbors, resonated with audiences who were captivated by Britain's maritime dominance. The late 18th century was a time of significant naval engagement for Britain, and Lunny's ability to portray the grandeur and tension of these events earned him considerable recognition. Lunny's career coincided with the American Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783, the French Revolutionary Wars, 1792 to 1802, and the Napoleonic Wars from 1803 to 1815. These conflicts provided ample material for his art as the British Navy played a central role in shaping the outcomes of these events. Lunny's depictions of naval battles, including the Battle of Trafalgar, are celebrated for their authenticity and emotional impact. His works not only documented historical events, but also reinforced national pride during a time when Britain's naval supremacy was crucial to its global ambitions. In 1807, Lunny left London and settled in the picturesque coastal town of Teganmouth in Devon. The reasons for his relocation are not entirely clear, but it's believed that his health may have played a role. Despite this move, Lunny's output did not diminish. In fact, he continued to produce works at an astonishing rate. His paintings during this period often featured scenes of local maritime activity, reflecting the quieter but no less vibrant life of Devon's coastal communities. A significant turning point in Lunny's life came as he began to suffer from severe rheumatoid arthritis. The condition left him largely unable to use his hands without assistance, yet his determination to continue painting was undiminished. Using aids and tools, Lunny adapted to his physical limitations and maintained an impressive level of productivity. His resilience in the face of adversity is a testament to his passion for his art and his extraordinary commitment to his craft. Lunny's body of work is remarkable not only for its quantity, estimated at over 2,200 paintings, but also for its consistent quality. His ability to capture the interplay of light and shadow, the movement of waves, and the intricate details of ships and their rigging cemented his reputation as one of Britain's foremost marine artists. His paintings range from grand naval engagements to tranquil coastal landscapes, showcasing his versatility and deep understanding of his subject matter. Thomas Lunny died on the 30th of September 1837 in Tynemouth, leaving behind a legacy that endures to this day. His works are housed in prestigious collections, including the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich and regional museums in Devon, where they continue to be admired for their historical significance and artistic merit. Through his art, Lunny not only chronicled an era defined by Britain's naval power, but also demonstrated the resilience of the human spirit. His paintings remain a window into the maritime culture of his time, offering a glimpse of the ships, sailors, and seascapes that shaped the nation's history. Robert Dodd. Robert Dodd, born in 1748 in London, was a British painter, engraver, and draughtsman whose work captured the drama and majesty of naval and maritime life during one of the most dynamic periods in British history. Active during the late 18th and early 19th centuries, Dodd carved a niche for himself as a skilled chronicler of naval battles, coastal landscapes, and seafaring adventures. His career coincided with a time when Britain's naval dominance was a defining feature of its power, providing a rich context for his art. Little is known about Dodd's early life and artistic training, but his works reveal a talent that was both technically proficient and emotionally resonant. He began his career as an engraver, producing detailed prints that showcased his keen eye for precision. This foundation in engraving likely informed the meticulous detail that became a hallmark of his paintings and drawings. Dodd's rise to prominence as a maritime artist was fueled by Britain's intense naval activity during his lifetime. The American Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783, the French Revolutionary Wars, 1792 to 1802, and the Napoleonic Wars from 1803 to 1815 provided an abundance of dramatic material for an artist interested in depicting the sea. Dodd's works often portrayed naval engagements with remarkable accuracy, combining artistic skill with historical fidelity. His ability to render the intricate rigging of ships, the smoke of cannon fire, and the chaos of battle made his work popular among naval officers and the general public alike. One of Dodd's key strengths was his ability to capture the spirit of the events he depicted. His paintings and prints often conveyed a sense of movement and energy, drawing the viewer into the action. While many of his contemporaries focused on grand, sweeping views of naval battles, Dodd had a talent for focusing on the human and technical details of seafaring life. This approach lent his work a unique immediacy and relatability, setting him apart from other marine artists of his era. In addition to naval battles, Dodd also explored the broader maritime worlds. His coastal landscapes and depictions of merchant ships offered a more peaceful and reflective perspective on life at sea. These works highlighted the economic and social importance of maritime trade to Britain's prosperity, emphasizing the vital role of ships and sailors beyond the battlefield. As a prolific engraver, Dodd produced prints of his own paintings and those of other artists, helping to popularize his work and make it accessible to a wider audience. His engravings were widely distributed and highly sought after, cementing his reputation as a leading figure in the world of maritime art. The affordability of prints compared to original paintings allowed Dodd's depictions of Britain's naval triumphs to reach households across the country, reinforcing national pride and the public's fascination with the sea. Dodd's career also intersected with some of the most significant technological and cultural shifts of his time. The Industrial Revolution was transforming Britain, and advancements in shipbuilding and navigation were central to the country's naval and commercial success. Dodd's art documented these changes, offering a visual record of an era when ships were not only tools of war and commerce, but also symbols of Britain's ambitions and identity. Robert Dodd's contributions to maritime art continued until his death in 1816. Though he may not have achieved the same level of fame as some of his contemporaries, his works remain significant for their historical and artistic value. Today, his paintings and engravings are housed in major collections, including the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich, where they continue to be admired for their combination of technical mastery and vivid storytelling. Through his art, Robert Dodd captured the essence of a nation shaped by the sea. His legacy endures as a testament to the power of visual storytelling to preserve history and evoke the spirit of an age. Peter Monamy. In the bustling city of London at the turn of the 18th century, a young boy named Peter Monamy was born into a world on the cusp of transformation. It was 1681, and the city, still recovering from the devastation of the Great Fire, was rapidly rebuilding itself into a hub of commerce, culture, and maritime power. Monamy's life and art would come to reflect the spirit of this maritime age, capturing the grandeur and peril of the seas that defined Britain's identity. Peter Monamy was the son of a Channel Islander. Hailing from the small island of Guernsey, his family moved to London when he was still a child, settling in the parish of St. Botolph's near Billingsgate. This area, teeming with shipbuilders, sailors, and merchants, provided Monamy with his first exposure to the maritime world. Though his family's financial circumstances were modest, Monamy's early years were steeped in the sights and sounds of the Thames, where ships across the globe brought stories of distant lands and tumultuous seas. At the age of 14, Monamy was apprenticed to a sign and decorative painter. This choice of profession, though practical, also provided him with the technical skills that would later define his career. Decorative painting required precision and a keen eye for detail, qualities that would serve him well as he transitioned to a more artistic pursuit. While the records of his apprenticeship are sparse, it is clear that Monamy developed a fascination with maritime subjects during this period. His work began to reflect the influence of Willem van de Velde the Elder and Willem van de Velde the Younger, two Dutch painters who had emigrated to England and were celebrated for their detailed and evocative seascapes. By the early 1700s, Monamy had established himself as a maritime painter, setting up his own studio in Westminster. The maritime themes that dominated his work resonated deeply with his audience. Britain's naval power was growing, and its victories at sea were sources of national pride. Monomy's paintings, with their vivid depictions of ships in battle, storms, and serene harbors, captured the imagination of a society deeply connected to the sea. His clientele included ship captains, merchants, and members of the Admiralty who admired his ability to render their world with both accuracy and artistic flair. Monomy's success as a maritime painter can be attributed to his ability to balance realism with drama. His works often featured carefully detailed ships set against dramatic skies and turbulent waters. This combination not only showcased his technical skill, but also evoked the heroism and peril of maritime life. Paintings such as the Royal Sovereign in a Gale and An English Ship in Action with Barbary Pirates demonstrate his mastery of composition and his understanding of the interplay between light and shadow. While Monomy's art was deeply rooted in the tradition of the Van de Veldes, he brought a distinct sensibility to his work. Unlike his Dutch predecessors, whose paintings often emphasized precision and restraint, Monomy's seascapes were imbued with a sense of movement and drama that reflected the English romantic spirit. This departure from the Dutch style helped Monomy carve out a unique niche for himself in the art world of his time. Despite his success, Monomy's career was not without struggles. The rise of the Royal Academy in the mid-18th century and the growing preference for history painting and portraiture posed a threat to maritime artists. However, Monomy's ability to adapt and cater to his patrons' tastes ensured his continued relevance. He often collaborated with engravers to produce prints of his paintings, making his work accessible to a broader audience. These prints, widely circulated, helped cement his reputation as one of England's foremost marine painters. Monomy's later years were marked by a decline in his fortunes, a fate not uncommon among artists of his era. He died in 1749, leaving behind a legacy that, while overshadowed by the likes of Turner and Constable in later years, remains significant in the history of British marine painting. His works, characterized by their vibrant energy and technical brilliance, continue to be celebrated for their contribution to the visual culture of Britain's maritime heritage. Peter Monomy's life and art encapsulate the spirit of an age when Britain's identity was inextricably linked to the sea. Through his paintings, he captured the majesty, danger, and triumph of maritime life, providing a window into a world that was both familiar and awe-inspiring to his contemporaries. Today, his work stands as a testament to the enduring power of art to reflect and shape the cultural narratives of its time. Nicholas Pocock. Nicholas Pocock, born on the 2nd of March in 1740 in Bristol, is celebrated as one of the most distinguished maritime painters of the late 18th and early 19th centuries. His life and work are inseparably tied to the sea, a connection that began not in the artist's studio, but on the decks of merchant ships. From this unique perspective, Pocock was able to combine first-hand nautical experience with remarkable artistic skill, producing works that continue to captivate audiences with their accuracy and drama. Pocock's early years were spent in Bristol, a bustling city port that thrived on maritime trade. It was here that he embarked on a seafaring career, becoming a captain of merchant ships. His role required a deep understanding of navigation, ship design, and the unpredictable nature of the sea, all of which would later inform his art. While Pocock's talent for drawing is thought to have emerged during his time at sea, it initially served as a practical purpose. He created detailed sketches and watercolors to record the journeys and encounters of his vessels. These early works not only demonstrate his technical skill, but also hint at his eventual transition from sailor to artist. By the 1770s, Pocock began to shift his focus from navigation to painting. His nautical background gave him an edge in depicting maritime scenes with unparalleled authenticity. The precision of his works, whether portraying ships in battle, storms at sea, or the serene rhythm of harbor life, reflects his intimate understanding of the maritime world. His ability to capture the intricate rigging of a ship, the play of light on the water, and the dynamics of naval engagements won him acclaim and commissions. One of the pivotal moments in Pocock's artistic career came during the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars. This era saw the British Royal Navy play a critical role in securing Britain's dominance on the seas. Pocock was commissioned to depict several key naval battles, including the Battle of the Glorious 1st of June, 1794, and the Battle of Trafalgar, 1805. His paintings from these events are notable not only for their dramatic composition, but also for their meticulous attention to detail. Pocock often consulted naval officers and studied logs to ensure the accuracy of his representations, blending artistic flair with historical fidelity. Pocock's association with prominent figures of the time further bolstered his reputation. He became a favorite artist of Admiral Lord Howe, one of the most celebrated naval commanders of the age, and received commissions from other notable patrons. His works were exhibited at the Royal Academy from 1782 onward, when they were met with great enthusiasm. The Academy, a bastion of artistic achievement in Britain, provided a platform for Pocock to showcase his unique blend of technical skill and narrative power. Beyond his battle scenes, Pocock also captured quieter moments of his maritime life. His paintings often depicted ships at anchor, bustling docks, and coastal landscapes, revealing the economic and social dimensions of seafaring. These works offer a more contemplative view of the maritime world, emphasizing its role in shaping Britain's identity as an island nation. Pocock continued to paint well into the 19th century, maintaining his status as a leading figure in the world of maritime art. His later works demonstrate a softer, more atmospheric approach, reflecting the evolving tastes of the time while remaining rooted in the traditions of his earlier career. Nicholas Pocock passed away on the 9th of March, 1821, leaving behind a legacy of extraordinary works that bridge the gap between art and history. His paintings are not merely visual representations of ships and battles, they are dynamic narratives that capture the spirit of an age defined by maritime exploration, commerce, and conflict. Today, his works can be found in prestigious collections including the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich, where they continue to be celebrated as masterful depictions of the sea and its stories. John Thomas Sear. John Thomas Sear, born in December 1759, was a prominent British maritime artist whose life and career reflect the grandeur and turbulence of Britain's naval era. As the eldest son of Dominic Sear, a renowned marine painter and founding member of the Royal Academy, John Thomas Sear inherited not only his father's talent but also a strong connection to the artistic traditions of his time. His life, however, was marked by both artistic triumph and personal adversity, which together paint a vivid picture of the man behind the canvases. Raised in a household steeped in art, Sear received his earliest training under the guidance of his father. Dominic Sear's influence is evident in the younger Sear's work, which demonstrates a meticulous attention to detail and a deep appreciation for the sea. Building on this foundation, John Thomas Sear developed his own distinctive style characterized by dramatic compositions and a masterful use of light and color to evoke the dynamism of the maritime world. In 1793, Sear succeeded his father as marine painter to King George III, a prestigious appointment that placed him at the forefront of British maritime art. This role involved creating works that celebrated the Navy's achievements, portraying the ships and battles that were integral to Britain's dominance at sea. Sear's works from this period often depicted naval engagements with a sense of grandeur and energy, capturing both the technical aspects of the vessels and the human drama of life at sea. In addition to his royal appointment, Sear was named Marine Draughtsman to the Admiralty in 1800. In his capacity, he was responsible for creating detailed and accurate depictions of coastlines, harbors, and naval operations. These drawings were not only works of art, but also practical tools used for navigation and planning. His skill in this area earned him widespread respect and underscored his unique ability to blend artistic creativity with technical precision. Despite his professional success, Sear's personal life was fraught with challenges. In 1795, he married Anne Remington, a woman whose later actions would cast a shadow over his life. Anne's erratic behavior and false claims, including her self-declared status as the Princess of Cumberland, led to a significant financial and social difficulty for Sear. Her actions caused him to become embroiled in a series of scandals and legal disputes, tarnishing his reputation and straining his resources. Anne's claims, which she supported with forged documents, were eventually debunked, but not before they had caused considerable damage to Sear's career. His association with her fabrications undermined his standing, and the financial strain of these events contributed to his later struggles. Despite these challenges, Sear continued to produce remarkable works of art, maintaining his dedication to his craft even in the face of adversity. Sear's legacy as an artist is preserved in his numerous paintings, drawings, and engravings. His works are celebrated for their ability to capture the majesty and intricacy of ships, the drama of naval battles, and the beauty of coastal landscapes. Today, his art is featured in prominent collections, including the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich, where it serves as a testament to his skill and resilience. John Thomas Sear died in December 1825, leaving behind a body of work that bridges the worlds of art and history. His paintings offer a window into the maritime culture of his time, reflecting both the power of Britain's navy and the personal struggles of an artist navigating the challenges of his own life. Through his art, Sear continues to be remembered as a master of maritime painting and a chronicler of an age defined by the sea. John Constable. John Constable, born on June 11, 1776, in the rural village of East Burgholt, Suffolk, stands as one of England's most celebrated painters. Renowned for his evocative depictions of the British countryside, Constable's works marked a pivotal shift in landscape painting. His art, rooted in deep emotional connection to nature, challenged the conventions of his time and paved the way for a new understanding of landscape as a genre worthy of high art. Constable was born into a prosperous family, the son of a wealthy miller and merchant. Despite his family's hopes that he would join the family business, though, Constable's passion for art emerged early. He was inspired by the picturesque scenery of his native Suffolk, often referred to as Constable Country. Encouraged by local artist John Dunthorne and with the reluctant support of his father, Constable moved to London in 1799 to enroll at the Royal Academy schools, where he received formal training in art. At the Royal Academy, John studied the works of masters such as Claude Lorraine, Peter Paul Rubens, and Jacob van Rustial, all of whom influenced his early style. However, John's approach to landscape painting was distinct. While many of his contemporaries idealized nature, emphasizing its grandeur or romanticizing it, John sought to depict the countryside with honesty and authenticity. He believed that landscape paintings should be rooted in direct observation and infused with the artist's emotional response to the nature. John's commitment to portraying the natural world as he experienced it is evident in his early works, which often focused on the scenery around Suffolk and later the Stour Valley. His paintings are characterized by their vibrant colors, dynamic compositions, and dramatic skies, which convey the ever-changing mood of the English weather. The artist's love for the rural landscape is particularly evident in works such as Denharn Vale, 1802, and Flatford Mill, 1816 to 1817. One of John's most iconic achievements came in 1821 with the Hay Wain. This large-scale painting depicting a rural scene near Flatford Mill was revolutionary in its depiction of everyday life and unembellished nature. Although initially met with limited acclaim in England, the Hay Wain found great success in France, where it won a gold medal at the Paris Salon in 1824. French artists, including members of the Barbizon school, admired John's bold brushwork and innovative use of color, which contrasted sharply with the neoclassical style that dominated the period. Throughout his career, John remained deeply committed to the idea that art should reflect the artist's personal experience of the world. This philosophy was exemplified in his sketches and plein air studies, many of which were created outdoors and served as the foundation for his finished works. His cloud studies, in particular, reveal his fascination with meteorology and his meticulous attention to atmospheric effects. Despite his artistic achievements, Constable struggled to gain financial stability during his lifetime. Landscape painting, though admired, was not as highly valued as historical or portrait painting in early 19th century England. It was only in the later years of his career that Constable began to receive wider recognition, and he was elected a Royal Academician in 1829. John's personal life was marked both by happiness and sorrow. In 1816, he married Maria Bicknell, with whom he shared a deep and enduring bond. Their marriage produced 7 children, but Maria's health was fragile, and her death in 1828 left John devastated. This loss had a profound impact on his later works, which often took on a more somber and introspective tone. John continued to paint and exhibit until his death on March 31, 1837. His influence extended far beyond his own time, inspiring artists such as Eugene Delacroix and the Impressionists, who admired his innovative use of light and color. Today, John Constable's work are celebrated as masterpieces of British art. His paintings, including the Hay Wain, the Leaping Horse, and Salisbury Cathedral from the Meadows, are housed in major collections such as the National Gallery in London and the Victoria and Albert Museum. John's legacy endures as a testament to his ability to capture the beauty, emotion, and spirit of the English landscape, transforming it into a subject of profound artistic and cultural significance. Dominic Serre. Dominic Serre, a name echoing through the corridors of maritime history, stands as one of the most prominent marine painters of the 18th century. Born in 1722 in Auch, a small town nestled in the French region of Gascony, Serre's early life was marked by aspirations far removed from the artist's studio. Initially intended for the priesthood, his path took an unexpected turn when he decided to leave France, setting sail for Spain to work in maritime trade. This decision would ultimately shape the trajectory of his career and bring him closer to the world he would later depict with such vigor and detail. By 1752, Dominic found himself in England under circumstances that were far from ideal. He had been captured by the British during a maritime conflict, yet it was this very capture that would prove transformative. In England, he began his formal artistic training, reportedly under the guidance of marine artist Charles Brooking. Immersed in the bustling art scene of mid-18th century London, Serre honed his craft, blending precise observation with artistic flair to bring maritime scenes to life. His works capture the majesty of naval engagements, the rhythm of merchant fleets, and the subtle interplay of light and water, which became hallmarks of his style. The 1760s marked a period of significant growth for Dominic as he gained recognition with artistic circles. In 1768, he became one of the founding members of the Royal Academy of Arts, a testament to his skill and reputation. This institution, established under the patronage of King George III, sought to elevate the status of artists in Britain and provide them with opportunities to refine and showcase their talents. For Dominic, it was both a platform and an endorsement of his mastery in the genre of marine painting. Serre's work was deeply tied to the political and military climate of his time. The 18th century was an era of expanding empires, naval dominance, and frequent conflicts at sea, including the 7 Years' War and the American War of Independence. These events provided ample material for his brush. He became a chronicler of maritime exploits, capturing pivotal battles and the grandeur of the British Navy. His paintings served not only as works of art, but also as historical documents, immortalizing the key moments of naval history and reflecting the ambitions of an empire whose power was defined by its control over the seas. Beyond the grand scenes of warfare and conquest, Dominic also explored the quieter, more routine aspects of maritime life. His depictions of ports, merchant ships, and coastal landscapes offered a nuanced perspective, emphasizing the economic and cultural dimensions of seafaring. Through these works, he demonstrated a remarkable ability to convey both the human and technical elements of maritime activity, bringing a sense of vitality and immediacy to his subjects. His contributions to the arts extend beyond his canvases. He mentored young artists, sharing his expertise and ensuring the continuation of marine painting as a significant genre. His influence can be seen in the works of his contemporaries and successors, who sought to emulate his meticulous attention to detail and dramatic compositions. In the latter part of his life, his work remained in demand and his legacy continued to grow. He passed away in 1793, leaving behind a rich body of work that captures the spirit of an era defined by exploration, conflict, and the relentless pursuit of dominance on the seas. Today, Dominic Serre is remembered not only as a masterful artist, but also as a storyteller who used his talent to document the dynamic and often turbulent world of 18th century maritime history. Clarkson Stanfield. Clarkson Frederick Stanfield, born on December 3, 1793 in Sunderland, England, was a celebrated British painter and stage designer whose career spanned a dynamic period in the history of art and theater. Known for his masterful maritime paintings and dramatic stage scenery, Stanfield's works are emblematic of this era, blending technical precision with a vivid sense of drama and movement. Stanfield's early years were shaped by his father, a former Irish officer turned writer and actor, whose peripatetic lifestyle exposed the young Stanfield to the world of theater and performance. However, his life took an unexpected turn when, as a teenager, he joined the British Navy. This experience left an indelible mark on his artistic vision. Serving aboard naval ships, Stanfield gained first-hand knowledge of the sea, ships, and coastal landscapes, subjects that would later dominate his career as a painter. By 1814, Stanfield had left the Navy and turned his attention to art. His early works reveal a keen observational skill and an ability to convey the atmosphere and movement of maritime scenes. Seeking financial stability, he joined a theater company and worked as a scene painter. It was here, creating backdrops for productions, that Stanfield began to refine his talent for large-scale compositions and dramatic perspectives. Stanfield's big break came when he became associated with London's Drury Lane Theatre, one of the city's most prestigious venues. As the chief scene painter, he was responsible for crafting elaborate backdrops that brought productions to life. His work was widely admired for its realism and dramatic impact, and he became renowned for his ability to evoke the vastness of the sea and the grandeur of landscapes. His stage designs combined an artist's eye for detail with a dramaticist sense of storytelling, captivating audiences and elevating the art of stagecraft. Despite his success in the theater, Stanfield yearned for recognition as a fine artist. In the 1820s, he began to exhibit his maritime paintings at the Royal Academy, where they were met with critical acclaim. Works such as the Battle of Trafalgar and the opening of the New London Bridge showcased his ability to depict naval engagements and bustling urban scenes with both accuracy and emotion. His use of light, color, and composition created dynamic works that celebrated Britain's maritime heritage. In 1827, Stanfield resigned from the theater to focus exclusively on painting. His reputation grew, and he became a member of the Royal Academy in 1835. His paintings during this period reflect his mastery of the marine genre, with sweeping seascapes, intricate depictions of ships, and evocative coastal scenes. His travels across Europe, including visits to Italy and the Rhine, further enriched his work as he captured the beauty of foreign landscapes with the same skill and sensitivity he brought to his maritime subjects. Stanfield's art is characterized by a blend of technical precision and atmospheric depth. His paintings often depict dramatic skies, turbulent seas, and ships in motion, creating a sense of both grandeur and immediacy. His ability to balance meticulous detail with an overarching sense of narrative made his works highly sought after by collectors and institutions. Stanfield's personal life was marked by stability and dedication to his craft. He maintained close friendships with leading cultural figures of his time, including Charles Dickens, who admired his talent and counted him among his circle of friends. Dickens even wrote of Stanfield's generosity and genial character, praising him as both an artist and a person. Clarkson Stanfield passed away on May 18, 1867, leaving behind a legacy as one of Britain's finest maritime painters and a pioneer of theatrical scene design. His works are housed in major collections, including the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich and the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. Today, he's remembered not only for his contributions to art, but also for his role in elevating the visual impact of theater, bridging the worlds of fine art and performance. Charles Brooking. Charles Brooking, an artist whose name is closely intertwined with the golden age of British maritime art, was born in London in 1723. His life, though tragically short, was marked by extraordinary artistic talent that positioned him as one of the most gifted marine painters of his time. Despite the limited documentation of his early years and personal life, Brooking's work speaks volumes, painting a vivid picture of the world of 18th century seafaring. Born into a modest family, Charles Brooking was the son of a customs officer. It's speculated that his connection to maritime trade and naval affairs may have provided him with early exposure to ships and the sea, a subject that would dominate his artistic career. Little is known about his artistic training, though some accounts suggest he may have been largely self-taught. However, the precision and detail evident in his works imply a deep understanding of his craft, likely honed through observation and practice rather than formal tutelage. By the mid-18th century, Brooking's work began to attract attention for the remarkable accuracy and vibrant portrayal of maritime subjects. His paintings frequently depicted ships in action, navigating turbulent waters, or engaged in naval encounters. His ability to capture the interplay of light and shadow on the water, the billowing sails, and the intricate rigging of ships set him apart from his contemporaries. These elements conveyed not only the grandeur of the ships, but also the dynamic and often perilous nature of life at sea. Brookings' works are notable for their technical precision, which reflects his keen observation of the details of ship construction and movement. His depictions of vessels reveal an intimate knowledge of their design, from the intricacies of their rigging to the manner in which they interacted with the wind and waves. This meticulous attention to detail suggests that he spent considerable time studying ships, possibly visiting docks and harbors, or even sailing himself. One of the hallmarks of Brookings' work is its emotional resonance. While his paintings are celebrated for their accuracy, they are equally admired for their ability to evoke the drama and majesty of the sea. Through his expert use of color and composition, Brookings captured the shifting moods of the maritime worlds, from serene sunlit waters to storm-laden skies filled with foreboding energy. Despite his undeniable talent, Brookings' career was overshadowed by financial struggles. He faced significant economic hardships throughout his life, a plight that was not uncommon among artists of his era. These challenges likely limited his output and the scope of his opportunities, though they did little to diminish the quality of his work. Charles Brookings' life came to an untimely end in 1759 when he was only 36 years old. His early death curtailed a career that had already begun to leave a lasting impression on the world of marine painting. Though he didn't live to see the full recognition of his genius, his influence endured, inspiring later generations of artists who sought to capture the majesty of the sea. Today, Brookings' paintings are celebrated as masterpieces of maritime art, housed in prestigious collections such as the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich, London. His works not only serve as a testament to his extraordinary skill, but also as historical documents that provide insight into the naval and seafaring culture of 18th century Britain. Through his artistry, Charles Brookings remains a luminary figure in the realm of marine painting, immortalizing the spirit of the sea and the ships that sailed upon it.